All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Thursday. Thursday, May the 19th, 2022. Appreciate you all tuning in. I am Chris Phillips, your host of the Daily Crow of the Spurs Up Show as always, and we have got a lot to get into here on this Thursday as we get situated. I see Travie, Brendan, Tommy Wallace, Matt, Isaac. What's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Also, guys, in the Big Cock Club Discord over the TDC Questions channel, be sure your questions are answered there. Quick update for those in the Big Cock Club. As I told you before, we are dropping our newsletters on Wednesdays. I did not get that one out yesterday. Had some personal stuff going on I was dealing with, honestly, that had to take care of. Either way, that will be out today, and it will be on Wednesdays moving forward. So, again, just want to let you all know that will release. Also, we got a bunch of clips on YouTube that are dropping from Coach Sean Elliott. Podcast will drop tomorrow, Daily Crow tomorrow. We might do a little, a little pool session maybe for the Daily Crow. I don't know. We might switch things up a little bit on a Friday. Either way, though, appreciate you all tuning in today. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Who just got a fresh cut from my guy, Danny Boy. I know you can't really see it, but we just got the fresh cut. We're feeling good here on a Thursday. Great day to have a day. Feels good to be good. And, again, I appreciate you all tuning in. I feel like it's been a while, by the way, since I said that. It's been a while since I said it feels good to be good, because we haven't won a whole lot. Over the last couple of weeks. Let's see. Happy Thursday indeed. One day closer to the weekend indeed. Let me know, guys. You should be able to hear me okay. I'm actually using a new import or a new connector, if you will, because we've been having some sort of, not major issues, but some mic issues. I don't know why it was happening, but it was happening. So I wanted to switch that out. I wasn't sure if maybe my old connector, if it's getting worn out, whatever happened. Brandon Coon says, watching in Clinton. Hi, shout out to Clinton, Brandon. Shout out to Clinton, good old PC. Rakeem Sprinkle says, is sat looking over his shoulder all year, knowing that Freddie Kitchens could easily have that job as well. I don't know, guys. I know a lot of people look into it and say, oh, is he going to help call plays? Is he coming in to be? I think people are just so ready for Satterfield to be gone. There's some people that are just so ready for Satterfield to be out that they're creating this narrative that they want it to be a certain type of deal. They want it to be a certain thing. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what it means for Sat. I don't know what it means for offensive play calling. I don't know what it means for the future, but Freddie Kitchens is part of our staff now. DGD, what's going on? Sitting back eating my popcorn, watching Jimbo and Saban go at each other. Great countdown video for SECU. Yeah, I'll get into that more in just a second. John Eber Kruger, what's going on? Rebecca, what's going on? Appreciate you. Yeah, so anyways, DGD, back to what you said. The SEC Unfiltered stuff, in case you missed it, started pushing content this morning. Again, we're starting small. We're starting at 0. But that's the beauty of it, man. That's the beauty in the journey. SEC Unfiltered is officially live at SEC Unfiltered. At SEC Unfiltered. We are there. We're 2 posts deep. We're 2 posts deep in this thing. Very excited. Our SEC entity. And again, guys, I will have, I don't know if it'll be today, if it'll be tomorrow, if it'll be over the weekend, but I will have a video content I will put out there that will be explaining exactly what this is, what this initiative is. But today is 100 days until SEC football. Threw up a video for today. Why not? Oh, let's see. This is not going well. Okay, are we good? All right, let's see. Let's jump to it. Rebecca, what's going on? How are you? Rebecca, all right. We're going to go to a 5-minute break so I can fix the audio, guys. We will be right back. I know you can't hear me. We'll be right back. Mike.
Wednesday.
All right, that was fucking brutal. All right, what's up, guys? Sorry for the technical issues there. I thought that so these MacBooks you have to put in like a connector, then you put the piece in. I was like, hey, we'll go to this new connector. Things will be a lot better. That was not. I don't know what the deal with that was. So we should be good. We should be good the rest of the way out. Rebecca, love for you to call back in. I apologize for that, but nobody could hear you. I couldn't hear you. So if you want to call back in, you're more than welcome. Again, 843-790-3377. And apparently you guys could hear me while the break video was going. I did not realize that you guys could hear me during those videos. So, yeah, I don't know if it's the Kingston hackers, the Muschamp hackers. We should be good now, though. We should be good now. I do apologize for that, guys. Again, I guess I should have tried to test that beforehand. I really thought, you know what, it'll work fine. That was not the case. So, either way, if we have any more issues, I know you guys will let me know, but please be sure to let me know if you have any issues with audio, with video, anything else. Again, just looking on my end, we should be good. Rebecca, like I said, if you'd like to call back in, here she is. Let's go.
Call from
Rebecca, what's going on? Apologies for that. Appreciate you calling in. What's up?
You're fine. Mm-hmm. Can y'all hear me all
right?
Yeah,
you're good. You're good now. Yeah, I think we're good now.
Anybody out there listening?
Yeah, I think we're good,
Can
Rebecca.
Hear me? All right.
So, yeah, I guess you were updating us on the whole Martin situation.
Yeah, it was. I reckon me and Martin is back together. And the whole thing was a misunderstanding yesterday. And I thought I'd just tell everybody that I'm sorry about yesterday. Me going off the handle like that.
So you and Martin are back together. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Love to hear that. Wow. What's meant to be will happen, Rebecca. What's meant to be will happen. Sure enough. What's meant to be will happen. So Team Rebecca had a one-day lifespan. A one-day lifespan for Team Rebecca.
Yeah, because me and him talked last night, and I told him that I forgave him and stuff like that, and I said, I'll give you one more chance, and that's about it that I know of. I mean, as far as that goes.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Don't let any third parties come in and ruin what you got going on, Rebecca.
Right. Anyway.
Love that. Love that for you. Happy for you.
I see that pain in the ass is tuned in.
Pain in the ass is tuned in. Yep. He even wished, hopefully you're happy, Rebecca, is what he commented, but pain in the ass. Yep, he's tuned in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought I'd just call in, just to get that situated where everybody will understand.
Mm-hmm. Well, just know, Rebecca, we're always Team Rebecca here, no matter what. We're always hashtag Team Rebecca. So.
Right, and I appreciate that.
We got
really
your back.
do.
We got your back.
But anyway, is Robbie going to call in?
I would assume so.
Yeah. They said that you took place of Dr. Phil.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Whatever the people need me to be, I will do my best. So whatever y'all need me to be here, I will do my best.
Right. But I'm reading some of these comments. They're funny.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'd just let everybody know about me and Martin.
Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you updating us. Truly, it's great to hear, and I'm glad to hear it. And happy for you, Rebecca, that everything's working out for you.
Yeah, and I'll get off of here. I might call back in. I don't know yet.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the update, Rebecca, truly.
Oh, okay. I'm going to get off here.
All right. Thanks, Rebecca. Appreciate you.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Just like that, guys. So much can change, right? So much can change in 24 hours. A day ago this time, we're all hashtag Team Rebecca, and Martin's a scumbag, and we hate Martin. We hate this. Now Rebecca and Martin are back together. So you know what? That just goes to show you yet again in life why you shouldn't overreact to any sort of situation. You should always keep your wits about you. You should always, shouldn't let your emotions run your thought processes. I think that's another great lesson for us all. So glad to see Rebecca and Martin working it out. Mike Hawk says, And Mike, you wanted me to read your name really quickly because it's a stupid YouTube name, but that's fine. Mike Hawk says, have a little hope in this baseball team. There's still a chance. The only chance this team has, Mike, is to win the SEC tournament. And so, I mean, if you want to hold on to that for dear life, I mean, listen, I'd love to see this team win 2 or 3 this weekend. I'd love to see this team have a fun, successful weekend in Gainesville. And, we all have nothing but smiles and great things to say and just feel good for one last weekend. But this team's postseason shots, they're done. They're cooked. They're finished. They're kaput. They're over their history. That's it. They're done, my guy. They're done. All right, let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Robbie Davis, a.k.a. Kirk Street.
Robbie, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. I had to get my call in early today because I'm going to spend time with my nephew and my brother around 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Well, I love to hear that for you, my guy. I love to hear that. That'll be a lot of fun.
With the nephew, have some lunch. Hopefully, my nephew doesn't try to kill me because he's crazy. But like I said the other day, I'm to the point now with the baseball team. Like you just said, I agree with you. The only chance that we have to even make it to Omaha, we've got to win the conference tournament. And honestly, I do not see that happening because all year long we've been like a daggone roller coaster, a wooden roller coaster at Carowinds, up, down, and shaking all over the place. Okay? Like one weekend we played great, another weekend we played like crap. It's been too much of an up and down season to say that we're going to do well in the conference tournament. And I think our pitching staff has done pretty good this year. It's just the bats have not been as productive as any of us have wanted. And like I've said before, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face like a Smurf, you ain't going to get a hit if you stand there like a knot on a log and just have the bat on your shoulders. You have to swing. And one or two things are going to happen whenever you swing. You're either going to miss or you're going to hit it. So it's a 50-50 shot of what's going to happen. And like I said, I'd rather you go down swinging than go down looking.
Right.
I don't care if you got the worst batting average on the team. If you go down swinging, that's a good thing because that means you tried. But I just do not see us. Do I see us winning again in the conference tournament? Maybe.
I think it depends on who we play. Depends on who we play.
Yeah, exactly. It depends on who we're playing. But I truly think that, I mean, like I told you Tuesday night, after Tuesday night, I was like, to hell with him. Screw him. He's not getting paid to do this mess. He's getting paid to win, and he ain't doing it. And just like you, I never thought there'd be a day where we would basically be hanging our hat on a 7-win football team and a national title in women's basketball. It's a little insane.
Yeah, it's been a rough year, Robbie. I was just looking at the team statistics, the overall stats. Carolina ranks.
Don't feel bad. I struggle with that word too.
Yeah, the statistics. Carolina ranks 11th in ERA in the SEC. And again, this is all games. This isn't just SEC games. So I'd be very intrigued to see where we sit with SEC stats. We sit 11th with a 5.41 ERA. The three teams worse than us, believe it or not, are Georgia, Mizzou, and Mississippi State. We are 13th in opponents' batting average at 263. And then hitting-wise, we are 13th in the conference with a 272 average. We're actually tied for last. Us in Arkansas, believe it or not, which is hard to believe. Hard to believe Arkansas is swinging it that poorly. And Florida's hitting 273. So we're two very similar teams in regards to not being able to swing it very well. But, so 13th in ERA, 13th in batting average, 11th in ERA. That's where we sit statistically.
Right. And it's definitely because, and also like you said, and like I already know, we have never really had good results in the conference tournament. Like even the 2 years that we won the national championships, if I'm not mistaken, it was one and done. The 2 times we went to the conference tournament and we won those 2 national titles.
Yeah, we were one and done. Yes, that is correct. I think maybe actually 2010. I'm looking at the schedule. I'm thinking. I think we played 2 games in the conference tournament. Maybe it was double elim. I don't know. Whatever. I think maybe it was double elim. But yeah, we have not played well.
I think we made it to the double elimination, but then it's still
we have not played well in Hoover ever, really.
Yeah, we never have
since like 2004 when we won it all. So
yeah. And I still stand by my statement the other day. As far as football goes, if it don't work with Sat this year, homeboy got to go. And like I said, I will help Beamer pack all of his crap and get him the heck out of that office. Because if his offense don't work this year with the pieces that we've added, then it's definitely him. Would you agree?
Yeah. No, listen, I'd agree 110%. I mean, the pieces you've added, yeah. If you don't get it done this year offensively, it falls on one guy. So it's just, hey, it's the nature of the business. It's put up or shut up. You're getting paid. You're getting paid a lot of money to get the most out of the offense, and you add in a prize quarterback, you add in the receivers, you add in all the skill players you added. You know, there's just no excuse. I mean, I don't know exactly what that number is that you need to hit X amount of points per game, or you need to have this many yards or this many wins, but. Yeah, certainly. If the offense doesn't click this year, it's
right.
It's got to fall on Sat.
Right. And like I said also the other day, when we have an opportunity to put the opposing team away, put them away and make sure they stay away. And I think, especially where do we play Georgia at this year? We play in Athens or in Columbia?
Robbie, home.
Okay, I couldn't remember. We need to make Willie B an absolute nightmare for Georgia, even though it's probably going to be hard as hang to beat Georgia. But we need to show up and show that Willie B is one tough place to play this season. And we've proved that it can be done before, and I think we can do it again and show that we can be a tough place to play. Because I saw I watched a YouTube video of I think of a quote that Todd Gurley said when he played for Georgia. He said I hate playing at Williams-Brice because whenever they start playing that sandstorm and those fans go crazy, he basically said it's a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he said when you give them something to cheer about, they don't shut up.
Yeah.
People like you, Robbie, they don't shut up.
Ouch, man. I thought we were friends.
Dude, I talk for a living, my guy. I definitely don't know when to shut up. My mouth has got me in trouble more than I am proud to admit, my man. Sometimes I'm like, Chris, just shut the hell up. Like, honestly, just let it be. Just let it be. Be quiet. But I love to talk, man. I love to talk. Got to give my 2 cents. I just love to give my 2 cents.
Yeah. But I wanted to go ahead. Did I already give you my prediction for this weekend?
I don't think you did, Robbie. I don't think you did.
Okay, well, I meant to yesterday, but I'll give it to you now. I honestly do not see us taking 2 out of 3 against Florida. I see us at least taking 1, but not 2.
Yeah, that's exactly my prediction. I've got Carolina losing 2 out of 3. I mean, I think that's not bold at all. I mean, South Carolina sucks on the road. We haven't been good on the road at all. So
yeah, we don't play well on the road. And the thing is, it doesn't matter what sport it is, basketball, football, baseball, it doesn't matter. If you go on a road game and you don't play well, you're probably going to get ran out the gym or get ran out the football stadium if you do not play well on the road. Mm. And you've got to and if you're playing on the road, you got to make sure that you don't get like you just said. Don't give the home team fans something to cheer about. Make them sit on their hands. Try to make it to where they're sitting on their hands the majority of the time they're there. And I truly believe if you can take the crowd out of the game and not give them anything to cheer about, you're most likely, unless the home team goes on some sort of a run, your chances of winning skyrocket. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we lost to the Citadel in football so many years ago, because they dadgum kept the crowd out of it. And our defense couldn't stop them for nothing. But I got us losing 2 out of 3. And funny story. I called my cousin, one of my cousins yesterday, because it was her stepdaughter's birthday, and my cousin saw the picture of you and me, and she was like, "Who's that dude with the black beard?" I was like, "That's Chris Phillips of the Spurs Up Show. He's a pretty cool dude."
I'm glad to hear it, Robbie. That was a good picture. I thought we took a good picture there, my guy. That was awesome. It was great to see you. Obviously, that was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
And like I said in my post, we may have lost, but you know what? I had fun, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters, my guy. You can't control
exactly
the result.
Exactly.
All we can do is show up and have us a good time. That's it.
Yes, indeed. That is a fact. That's a fact. That is a fact.
Anyways, Robbie, you've got the Gamecocks dropping 2 of 3. We'll see what happens this weekend, my man. I know we'll probably talk tomorrow. So, I appreciate you, my dog.
Absolutely, bro. Appreciate you too, man. And thanks for the picture Tuesday.
Of course, man. Of course. Anytime.
All right, man. Stay safe. Don't do nothing too stupid. Leave the dumb stuff to me. And to heck with Clemson. Seriously, y'all suck at everything. Everything. Okay?
Well said. Robbie, appreciate you, my man.
All right, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, brother. Great stuff. 843-790-3372, my guys. We are taking your calls. By the way, this just dropping from Bet Online. Get this. Are y'all ready? Brace yourselves. I told you what I thought the spread would be for South Carolina, Georgia State. That line and that spread has officially dropped from our friends over at Bet Online. Get this. Per Bet Online, Gamecocks open as an 11-point favorite against Georgia State. Just 11 points. So Vegas is expecting that to be a close game. And I would expect that line to move. I think you'll see it move much closer to Carolina favored by 2 touchdowns. But still, Vegas is expecting that to be a battle. So, folks are going to say, hammer the Gamecocks. Carolina minus 11. That is, yeah, that's a little bit less. That's a little bit less than I expected, man. I ain't going to bullshit. That's a little less than I expected. Yep. Oh, my goodness. That is a little less than I expected. So. Anyways, guys, would love to hear from you all. Yeah, I know everybody's going to see that and say hammer Carolina. I'm not even saying that's the wrong move. I really thought, guys, I mean, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I really thought that the spread should be Gamecocks minus like 20 and a half. You know, I think a 3-touchdown game makes sense. Week 1, all that good stuff. 11 is low. 11's really low. Travis Lee says 11. People will tear Satterfield's house down if we don't win by 20. You know, I'll tell you this, though, Travis. I could see Carolina winning the game like 34-20. I could see that. What if it's like a 34-23 game, Travis? What if Vegas is looking at our defense, not our offense? I'm just playing devil's advocate. I agree. I think 11 is very, very surprising. I think I'm surprised. Again, I'm very, very shocked that that number's at 11. Clemson also opens up as a 20.5-point favorite against Georgia Tech, which I'd probably say hammer Clemson too. Yeah. So, guys, a lot to get into, especially in the college football world. A lot of this. This Jimbo Saban stuff. I'm seeing here Jimbo Fisher says that Nick Saban is a narcissist. Good God. They're just going back and forth at each other. Saban saying that A&M's paying for players. You know. Forty Washington, what's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Travis Royal says, I could see us winning 31-20. Again, we are so far from making those type of predictions, but yeah, 11 is 11 is very interesting. I'll just leave it at that. 11 is a very interesting number. Luke RJ says, hot take, I think our defense will be better than last year, maybe 10 stat rankings better. Why do you say that, Luke RJ? I'm just curious. That could be the case. Again, my biggest question for defense, can you stop the run more effectively than you did last year? You've got to replace Jabari Ellis. You've got to replace J.J. Enagbare, right? Can you stop the run more effectively? Can the linebacker position be better in helping do so? And then my other question, Luke RJ, is you lose Jalen Foster. Is Devontae Reed a worse player than Jalen Foster? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he's better. But will he have, I should say, the big play ability, right, that Jalen Foster had? You know, and if he's not the guy, who is it? Is it Cam Smith? Is it Darius Rush? Is it RJ? Is it somebody else? Is it a freshman? Who's going to get those big turnovers for us this year? But it all comes down to stopping the run. I mean, listen, we were top 10 in the country stopping the pass, but we couldn't stop the run. That's what it'll come down to. So, are we better, Luke RJ, up front and at linebacker than we were last year? That's really the question. Connor McCormick, Jordan Burch is going to have a year. You know, Connor, I'm not saying he's incapable of doing so, but I've been saying Jordan Burch is going to have a year for the past 2 seasons. I'm in show me mode with Burch, man. I'm sorry. I haven't seen anything from him that tells me he's living up to the hype, living up to what he was touted as. I'm really, really hoping. I'm really hoping that Jimmy Lindsey will get the most out of him. I really am, because the dude has so much potential. He's got so much potential. And it's a damn shame. You know, I remember when we recruited him, when we got him. Good buddy of mine works for Georgia. And so I talked to him, you know, when we landed Burch. And he told me, he said, Chris, if Burch ain't a first rounder, y'all messed up, man. There's a reason we wanted him. There's a reason everybody wanted him. The dude's a freak. If he's not a first rounder, y'all messed up. So it'll be a damn shame if he doesn't have a big year. It'll be a damn shame if he doesn't pan out as a big-time player here. It really will. Connor McCormick, second highest recruit. Yeah. Second highest. That's insane to think about. That's insane to think about. So it will be a damn shame if he doesn't pan out and become the guy we hoped he would. Tommy Wallace says, who will Beamer take with him to SEC Media Days? If I had to guess right now, I'd say Rattler for sure. I'd say Rattler. Rattler. That's tough. I'm going to go Rattler, Van, Pickens. Rattler, Van, Pickens. I'll go those 3 guys. I think those make sense. Jeff Gullidge, that game's going to be closer than people think because it's just our first game and everyone knew we have to get in a rhythm. No preseason game or scrimmage. I hear you, but man, somebody said if we win by 11, oh my goodness, Gamecock fans are not going to quite be thrilled. Anyways, guys, we are taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3372. And again, a lot of things I want to get into, and certainly in the college football world, there's a lot going on with this Saban and Jimbo stuff. What do y'all think? I mean, what do y'all think about it? This is like taking everybody by storm. Yeah, this is taking everything by storm. Again, I would love to hear from you all, guys. Let's jump into a quick break, but I want to continue to hear from you. More of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Again, a lot to get into, especially in the college football world. Nick Saban, Jimbo going at each other. Deion getting involved. What a time. What a time it is. Here's my first initial reaction to it. Nick Saban coming at Jimbo. I don't really disagree with what Saban's saying in the sense of like A&M paid their players, but maybe those in glass houses shouldn't cast stones. You know what I mean? Maybe those in glass houses shouldn't cast stones because, I mean, you're trying to convince me that Bama's not paying guys? Really? I don't know about all that. By the way, guys, a quick side note. I am jumping on the Fan Upstate at 4 o'clock on the radio with Mark Ryan to talk Carolina baseball, and specifically Mark Kingston, his job status. Also might talk a little Clemson baseball and just the overall state of baseball in the state of South Carolina and just what the hell is wrong with the baseball programs in this state. Nelson Edwards, what's your opinion of our offensive line? I don't think it's all that good. I think that, until we're proven otherwise, if you had to rank the offensive lines in the SEC, Carolina's ranks pretty much at the bottom, near the bottom, until proven otherwise. So I think there's players that are capable up there. I think it's Satterfield's job to scheme around that O-line. I just, that's what I said before. You need to recruit at that position. You need to go get some big-time ball players. But saying the offensive line sucks this year, it's not going to be a good enough excuse because, now the offensive line isn't good. We all know the O-line's the problem. We all know that the likelihood of the offensive line being a deficiency is pretty freaking high. So to me, it's not a good enough excuse this year for Satterfield to say, well, the offensive line just – no, bro, it's May the 19th. You have time to scheme and build a game plan around that. You just can't just go through the season and say, well, we just weren't good because of the O-line. Nah, that's not going to cut it this year, man. That's not going to cut it this year. So, but honestly, right now, I don't think the offensive line's all that great. No, I don't think they are. I think they're going to be suspect. I think that, again, until proven otherwise, and I think when you look at teams like in the matchups like Georgia, A&M, Clemson, I think that's where we fall the most short. I think that's where we fall the most short. Somebody asked earlier, by the way, let's see if I can find this. Footballists, do you think Andrew Eister will enter the transfer portal or the MLB draft? I think is what he meant to say. Yeah, footballists, he doesn't have another year left. He's either going to the draft or he's retiring. So there's no coming back to Carolina. Connor says, I think Jimbo's hot because he knows he's in the wrong. Here's the thing, too. Here's where you can't even fight it. Now 24/7 Sports and Rivals, they're doing these NIL valuations, right, on players. So, we know they're getting paid. We know without a shout of a doubt they're getting paid. Let's jump to the phone lines.
Call from
Zachary.
To accept.
Zachary, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Appreciate you asking. What's going on?
Well, really two things today is I really wanted your opinion on the Freddie Kitchens hire because, to be honest, for something as small as a analyst, people are definitely reading a lot into it. They're saying that if Satterfield messes up, this is the replacement, and there's just he's basically a co-offense coordinator, and I'm sitting here, I'm not gonna hold anything he did in the pros against him because that's a completely different game. but I'm a Ravens fan, so I saw everything he did as the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, and it was not that good. But like I said, this isn't the pros. This is college football. It's a completely different game, different rules and all that. So I'm not going to hold that against him, but I don't understand all the confidence that people have in him. And I just want your opinion.
Yeah, Zachary, I think those that you are seeing and hearing from that are reading so far into it are those who are just so adamant about getting rid of Marcus Satterfield and getting someone else in there. Like, again, they're almost spinning it to a point of what they want it to be versus what it really is. And in the long run, maybe it could turn out that he's in some weird way in a co-OC and he takes over for Sat after the year. He's an analyst, man. Here's the realistic viewpoint on this. I am happy we added him due to his NFL experience. I mean, the fact that you can add an former NFL head coach to your coaching staff in any sort of capacity, I think is a plus, no matter what the results were. He was the head coach of the Browns. They are a dysfunctional organization top to bottom. So I don't care what he did with them. The guy coached at the NFL level. He knows football. Zachary, here's the reality. We're going to discuss Freddie Kitchens right now over the next couple of days. Whatever. You're probably not even going to hear his name again. The guy is an analyst. Name off how many analysts you know on our staff. How many analysts can you name? I can name Kitchens and I can name Pat DeMarco because he played here. I ain't never seen an analyst's name in the paper or on social media getting credit or blame for winning or losing a game. I ain't never seen it in my life. So I'm not saying in the long run he couldn't, maybe this thing evolves and he takes over and I don't know. But right now, I think the people that are trying to make some big deal out of this are those who just want to see Satterfield gone. And that's fine. If you're out on Sat, that's fine. That's your opinion. You can ride in the season that way. And I know for a lot of people, Satterfield is guilty until proven innocent, right? Until he puts an offense on the field that people deem as competent, right? He's fighting that battle. Totally fine. I get it. But I don't, I look at the Kitchens hire. Hey, good hire. Add a former NFL coach. I don't view it, at least, I don't spin it as, well, he's being hired to take Marcus Satterfield's job. I just don't view it that way. Maybe that'll turn out to be the case. I don't view it that way, though.
Yeah, that I basically was. I'm not viewing it that way either. I'm just viewing it as he's just a guy that has experience. He brings who brings high level experience onto the roster. But I'm seeing all this stuff. I'm seeing all these comments, all these posts, and I'm just like, where is this coming from? Honestly, I just wanted another person's opinion on the matter.
Hold on. The where is what coming from now? Say that again.
Oh, I was just saying, I just wanted to hear another person's opinion.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
hearing all this noise.
Right. No, for sure. I like the Kitchens hire. I like adding him to the staff. Again, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know every little thing about Kitchens, the ins and outs of his NFL career or whatever. But, like I said, you add a coach with NFL experience. I think that's a plus. I think that's a positive. I mean, again, he's an analyst, so it's another constructive voice in the building. But, again, I don't, at this time, I don't make more of it than that. You know what I mean? I don't make more of it than that. Maybe, again, in the long run, he will fill in for Sat, or we'll hear something different that, he's going to help call plays and do this, do that. But I think people are spinning it that way because that's what they want it to be. They want that to be the reality. That's not because that's what is the reality, but that's what they just want. Sat gone so bad that they will cling to this story in their own head that, Kitchens is coming in to take over. You know what I mean? And maybe it's true. But I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it right now.
Yeah. Okay, and the second thing is, it's definitely we got Nick Saban versus Jimbo Fisher and potentially versus Dion.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing about it is, am I supposed, like, are we supposed to tell? I just want everybody to be honest, which I feel like is not happening in this situation. I feel like Jimbo's getting so defensive, it's almost comical. And I think that Nick Saban is throwing stones at glass houses. And I haven't heard anything what Dion says, but I just want Dion to be honest as well. He said multiple times that he did not use NIL to get anybody, but I'm like, let's just be completely honest. Before NIL, is Travis Hunter going to Jacksonville State? No, he's not. He's not going there. So I just want people to be completely honest. And I just feel like everyone's not going to be honest. I feel like all these coaches, especially Saban and Jimbo, and I think Debo is just Dion just has a lot of pride about them, and they're not going to admit that, yes, you're 100% right. We use NIL to our advantage. And it's like, I don't understand. My main thing is, I don't understand why these coaches are just so prideful that they just can't admit it. Like, we all know you're using NIL. It's like, it's not illegal anymore. Just admit it. That's my problem.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, pride and ego involved. And, when you get to that level, I mean, those guys are cool. You're a guy like Nick Saban. You've won all those national titles. And, yeah, I mean, you're going to have some ego. I mean, listen, those guys all have ego. They do. They have a confidence and a self-belief and a they work their freaking tails off and they know they're great. And so that ego comes with that. In regards to, again, I guess I'm just really, you know what this almost kind of tells me? Maybe I'm just totally off base. I feel like Nick Saban is getting near the end of his coaching tenure. Because I'm like, why would you be so honest? Like, I don't know. Like, why are you picking a fight that you don't have to pick? Why are you doing that? Like, what is the point? What do you accomplish in doing this? Because again, like I said earlier, those in glass houses should not be throwing stones. And so, A&M made a splash this recruiting cycle. The highest rated recruiting class ever. And we heard about the NIL valuations for the class and all that. But like, to pretend like Bama hasn't thrown the bag forever is, come on, man. Like they just, why pick that fight? Why pick that fight? And then the whole Dion thing. And I'll tell you this, listen, we know where Dion stands. We know what type of dude Dion is. I'm not saying he's a bad dude, but Dion's a guy he's not going to sit there and be quiet and take the high road. He's going to say something. But again, Dion as well. Like, you got the number one recruit in the country to come to Jackson State. Nobody is saying that the kid didn't want to do it because he wanted to make a statement and go to an HBCU. And bro, that's all great. But to pretend like you're not leveraging NIL at all? Come on, man. Like, let's, like you said, let's nobody wants to admit it, I guess. I don't know. I don't really understand why you pick a fight you don't have to pick. I don't understand it. Yeah. And I know all coaches are getting asked about it. I mean, Shane Beamer's going on his welcome home tour. He's getting asked every single turn about NIL and they want to hear it. They want to hear it, right? They want to hear it. But I guess I'm just, I don't even – I'll tell you this, and I just saw a clip from Colin Cowherd on Twitter. He's defending Jimbo Fisher. I'm kind of defending Jimbo also. I'm actually defending Jimbo also because I just don't understand why Saban's starting shit. Like, that don't have to be started. That don't need to be started. You know, like, I don't know why he's going to those lengths to start shit. Like, I mean, it's, you know, but you know, it is what it is. It makes great headlines and great entertainment for us all. So, whatever.
Yeah, that is really mainly the thing. It's like this is it's just it's like it's so out of left field because usually this feels like, and it's not like Saban to take the bait. It feels like this is like a question. It feels like, you know, anytime a coach, anytime like a reporter brings up NIL, they want like a hot take. They want like someone to call somebody else out, and it's not like Nick Saban to take the bait. So that is very suspicious.
Well, you know what I kind of equate it to? It's kind of like social media, and maybe this is a bit of an extreme example, but, and this isn't a knock on Jimbo, but it goes back to, you know, the overall resume and length of tenure and all that. It's what's weird about it is it's like Saban swinging down, and you never want to swing down. And what I mean by that is like picking a fight on a guy smaller than you. You know what I mean? Like, like this would make a lot more sense if Jimbo was saying this about Saban, trying to go after the big dog, go after the head honcho. Yeah. Like, Saban doesn't need to pick this fight. What do you gain out of this? And apparently Saban's going on radio today at like 4 or 4:30 or something like that. But you don't gain anything other than just creating drama, other than toying with the football gods. You're not gaining anything out of this. So, yeah, you just, you know, on social media, again, I know that's kind of an extreme example, but that's the space that I live in. So, you know, you don't want to swing down to pick on like, you gain nothing out of it. All Saban's doing is fueling Jimbo and Deion. That's all he's doing. Bama gains nothing out of this. They gain nothing because guess what? Because of the new rules, because of NIL, bro, A&M did nothing illegal. Deion has done nothing illegal. Like, it's all legal, and there's no rules. I guess if you want to argue maybe some tampering, but not real. I mean, dude, they haven't done anything illegal. You can disagree with how they've gone about it, but it's not illegal. So, Saban just sounds like the disgruntled old grandpa on his front porch that is you know, kids these days. Like, he just sounds like that disgruntled old fuck. You know what I mean? Like, he just sounds like that guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's surprising to me. It's surprising to me. I don't know. I don't. He gains and Bama gains nothing out of it.
Yeah, it really is just it's disagree. It's like what you're saying. It's like, why are you like? It's like, why? This is like something that, you know, maybe Josh Heupel does. Maybe Josh Heupel says, you know, Josh Heupel can even say something because Josh Heupel kind of got some flack for their quarterback commit. That he's like, this. I feel like Josh Heupel, it would be more in line for Heupel to do that because Heupel's like, why y'all coming at me for you leveraging NIL when Texas A&M did it? And I'm just like, it's like you said, it's the whole glass houses thing. It's like, it just doesn't feel in character. It doesn't feel in character. It doesn't make sense. Saban, you know, Saban's been on top for so long, and it's just like, it kind of feels like he's just it's like you said, he's just the old dude yelling, "Get off my lawn" at this point.
Yeah. I think that's an accurate way to put it. No, it's you know, this is sort of a side note, but it's just so crazy. We launched this SEC entity, and this shit happened. So hey, already got something to talk about. Beautiful. You love that. Absolutely love. Content creator's dream. So
yeah. Well, all right, Chris. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, I appreciate it, Zachary. Thanks so much, man. For sure. Good stuff. 843-790-3377. Again, guys, in case you missed it, SEC Unfiltered has officially launched. Go follow on social media at SEC Unfiltered, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're on YouTube. We will be on TikTok as well. So, again, I would love for you guys to go check that out. Again, we are starting from zero. We are building, going to be talking the entire SEC. Think of it the way that I make content right now, but I'm just going to be talking the entire conference. That's the only difference. It's not just going to be pointed at South Carolina. And I will say the difference in content, it's going to be a little bit more raw, relaxed. For South Carolina, we're so deep diving into like key matchups, key players, like score predictions and all that good stuff because we're focusing on one team. This is going to be like a much more high level overview, 30,000 foot in the air overview, kind of just how you'd feel shooting the shit with your friend at a bar about SEC sports. You know what I mean? So it's something I'm really excited about. We're just starting this thing. We're just getting after it. We've already produced some content this morning. So again, guys, I would really appreciate if you guys show love and support at SEC Unfiltered. And again, I will have a formal video, if you will, and an announcement of a launch. I just started pushing out content this morning. 100 days till SEC football. It felt like the right time to do so. Let's see. Brian Dean says Saban's mad because of NIL. Teams will be able to catch him and pass him. Also says I'm not completely sold on NIL, but it will help teams match Saban's. Travi, yes, it's SECU. SEC Unfiltered is the name. No, it's at SEC Unfiltered. That full name. It's kind of like how the Spurs Up Show is hashtag TSUS, but it's at the Spurs Up Show. You see what I'm saying? So SECU is in that logo, but it's SEC Unfiltered is the name of the entity at SEC Unfiltered. And let me I'll just throw this link in here, by the way. We got a Linktree link that'll just take you to everywhere you need to go. Every single place. There you go. Boom. New entity I'm pushing. Just shared it throughout. Let's see. I saw my guy Donald Cunningham. Donnie says, as someone who operates in the NIL space, there's so much illegal shit happening. He says it's not all legal. And I hear you, Donnie, but again, it's like it's so wild, wild west. Show me where there are written rules. Show me where there is a written rule right now. I understand the tampering side and like Dak Joyner getting contacted by coaches and whatever after the bowl game while he's still at South Carolina. I get that side, like that's tampering, but I don't feel like there's like some rule book on NIL. Like there's some guideline on NIL telling you, oh, we can do this, we can't do that, but we can do this. I don't know any of it. All I know is you can pay players now. That's it. There ain't no rules on amount. There ain't no rules on type of deal. There's no rules on anything is what it feels like. Maybe I'm wrong and I'm ignorant and I'm off base here, but that's how it feels. That's how it feels. So Brian Dean says, before NIL, I guarantee you players like Johnny Football got paid. Bro, Jadeveon Clowney got paid. Marcus Lattimore got paid. Alshon got paid. I guarantee you Gilmore got paid. Yeah, I mean, it's I am pro NIL. I think that the NIL stuff was released with good intentions. I do. I think the NIL stuff was not released with negative intentions. I think it's gotten out of hand in regards to what they expected versus what is happening. But it's so funny because, again, I feel like the Joker in Batman. If a booster pays a player, but it's behind closed doors and nobody hears about it or knows about it, nobody panics. Nobody bats an eye. But if I tell you TSUS through Keenan Nelson Jr. $100,000 to be a TSUS athlete, well, all of a sudden, everybody freaks out. It's almost like people, they didn't care if players were getting paid as long as it was out of sight, out of mind. They didn't care if it was out of sight, out of mind, if it was ignorance is bliss. But now it makes people uncomfortable that an 18-year-old's getting paid. What changed? Were guys not getting paid in recruiting before? They were. They most certainly were. And guys, it will never stop. I mean, it's just never going to stop. It is never going to stop. I don't care if you freaking if you go back, you delete NIL. There's always going to be a loophole. There's always going to be a way to break the rules. Always. Always. So those who say, well, it's unfair now because Alabama is going to benefit and Ohio State. I'm not even saying you're wrong, but are we pretending like they didn't benefit before? Are we pretending like it was fair? Like, I'm not even talking about the South Carolina side of things because I think we may not have the money of a Bama or an A&M or even a Georgia. We may not have that kind of money. But I'd like to think we have enough to hold our own. We have enough to go get the guys we need to compete and to win. Would y'all disagree? I think we do. But the real problem is that we're pretending like, well, it's just NIL's benefiting Alabama to the point where poor little Middle Tennessee State, how are they going to compete? How is Appalachian State going to compete? How is Arkansas State? How is Coastal Carolina? How is even a UCF? How is Memphis going to compete? They never were. I don't care if NIL never happened. It was never a fair game. It was never Bama and App State are not on equal footing. They never will be. I don't say all that to say that there doesn't need to be. Now that we have NIL, we're not going back. You've opened Pandora's box, and we're not going back. You just can't do it. So now your job, but I am so happy I'm not in power and control over this situation because I don't know where you go. Because I view it hey, I'm a business owner, guys. I'm not in the Gamecock Club, but I'm a business owner around the Gamecocks. Hell, now I'm going to be a business owner around the entire SEC. If I want to pay a guy, why should you have any say in what I do with my money? Why should you have any say? Luke RJ says, who do you think in the SEC with Texas and OU has the wealthiest fan base and boosters and supporters? What if the teams that have that become the best programs 10 years from now? Well, Luke RJ, you think Texas ain't got money, bro? Texas has got plenty of it. Why aren't they worth a damn? Riddle me that. Why isn't Texas worth a damn right now? I would probably say right now, Georgia, Bama, they've got the wealthiest. I mean, Georgia's got a very wealthy fan base, alumni base. Very wealthy alumni base. I'm sure Bama's up there. A&M's obviously up there. That Texas money, that oil money, it's up there. Right? Luke RJ says, NIL just started. Yeah, Luke, I know. I know, my guy. But you act like because NIL started, Texas is going to get more money. Like, what do you mean? They've always had money, my guy. They've always had money. So, Luke, I again, you're presenting that point as if schools didn't pay players prior to NIL. They most certainly did and have and always will. I mean, so I'm just saying, like, why isn't Texas worth a shit, Luke? Why aren't they worth a damn? All that money ain't it ain't working for them, apparently. Or either that or they're not getting their money's worth. As Travis Allen says, he says, heck, either we don't pay good or we're not getting our money's worth. It's like when fans accuse Clemson of cheating and New Spring and before NIL ever happened. You know what my response was? I hear you. Cool. Get after them. Well, damn it, if we got to pay, we should do it too. It's just the reality, man. It's just the reality. It's college athletics. It's college football. How do you stop it, guys? How do you stop it? Because, again, you can't go back. NIL's here to stay, man. And now it's up to us. It's up, well, not even up to us. It's up to the powers that be to make some sort of adjustment. You got to make an adjustment. Guys, we're going to jump into a quick break, but I want to continue to hear from you. More of your questions, comments, calls, and more. On the other side, you're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, guys, we're back. Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Got a lot to discuss. We are talking college football, the NIL stuff, the madness of Saban and Jimbo and beyond. All of us, everybody. It has taken the college football world by storm. Also, by the way, I wanted to bring this up for Phil, our guy Phil. He loves to talk weather. High of 96 in the city today. And tomorrow, the high is 99. 99, bro. 99. Phil would literally melt. So, boy, it is hot. Famously hot, what they say about Columbia. Jeff Guller says that's why Dumbo at Clem sucks has always been against NIL. It levels the playing field. Not everyone can do what they did, but legally now. Certainly it changes the game, that's for sure. Certainly it changes the game. Brennan M says, so happy it's only going to be 70 Tuesday. Where, Brennan? I see it's 82 Tuesday. Looks like after Friday there was something to be too bad, like high 80s. Which is that's doable. That's doable. So, anyways, guys, we'd love to hear your thoughts on everything. Whether it be Gamecocks baseball taking on Florida this weekend, whether it be the NIL stuff, Saban, Fish. Are you team Saban or are you team Jimbo? Who's right? Who's wrong in this scenario? Who's right? Who's wrong? Right? Who's right? Who's wrong? What you think? Connor McCormick, speaking of TSUS athlete, what do you give them out of curiosity? I've just always been interested to know. If you can't say, then that's fine. I understand. Connor, it depends on the athlete. For a lot of guys, it makes a lot of sense to do merchandise, and we split the revenue with those guys on merchandise sales. I mean, I'll be honest. We're not giving them some like package or whatever, like some. We give them a promo code. If people use it, they get 10% of those sales. But, like I'll be totally honest with you, man. Like it's really cool to have TSUS athletes and just have athletes at USC that rock with and support the business and the show and all that stuff and the content to the point they do where they want to be a TSUS athlete. But I just think it's business-wise, it's nonsensical to throw stupid money around. Because it's just like, is again, all due respect, is making this random guy or girl a TSUS athlete, is that going to elevate business to some different level? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to diminish. Like, bro, what is going on? Here we go. Okay. Should be good. Oh, he hung up. Luke, call back in, my guy. Maybe it's that port I've been using. Maybe that's the problem. That specific port in this connector. Maybe that is the problem. Luke RJ, call back in, my guy. I got to your oh, whoops. Okay, we should be good now. I just fixed the mic. All right, Luke Art. I'm just all over the place right now. Luke RJ, call back in. Call back in, Luke RJ. Call back in. Yes, Brendan, I know. The wrong mic. I had it on MacBook. No, so like I said, this little connector thing on the side, it's got like multiple ports. And the one I use every single day, I think maybe it's getting worn out. By the way, somebody asked earlier about the Road to Glory content. That will return soon. We might even do one before the game tonight. But that'll return soon. So, Luke RJ, call back in, my guy. Would love to have you call back in. I apologize for that. I was trying to fix the mic while you were calling in. And by the way, I've actually got a guy, my buddy Mark Rogers, who I've jumped on with before. I talked with him on, what was that? That was on Tuesday. I went on with him. He's actually got a soundboard that plays the calls and stuff. Like it really is like a call-in show. So I might actually invest in a soundboard so where we upgrade the setup a little bit. Luke RJ, call back in, my guy. Call back in. I was trying to fix the mic while you called, so I apologize for that. I apologize. And I answered, and you had hung up. So call back in, my dude. Let's see. Anyways, yeah, Trappy, the old Nintendo blowing the cartridge trick. Yeah, sometimes you got to do it, my guy. Sometimes you got to do it. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Luke RJ, what's up, man?
What's up, man? I just wanted to call and talk about this NIL and Saban and
Yeah, fire away, my guy. Fire away.
Fisher and so I haven't been following really what's been going on. I've just heard what you've been talking about. I haven't been looking at Twitter or anything, so I don't know a whole lot about the whole situation. But I did hear back when it first started, like the first time when they kind of got into it and went back and forth during the Brian Harsin thing. And I'm not a huge fan of Jimbo Fisher. I always like, he if someone comes at him, well, he attacks back twice as hard, and he just looks like he's kind of guilty. He knows what he's doing. But the thing, I think Saban is a little worried that Texas A&M is gonna start getting these number one recruiting classes instead of Alabama, and that's gonna continue. And he doesn't want to see that.
Right. Yeah, I certainly think he feels threatened to some degree. I mean, why else would you do that? I mean, there's just no other, there's no other reason why you even bring it up and make it a thing unless you feel threatened in some way, right? I mean, I would think so.
Yeah. So, well, the other thing I was asking about the Wesleyan fan bases, I mean, my theory is you still got to have a good coach. You still got to, know how to win games. You still got to know how to, prepare and get good coaches and, but as far as like recruiting goes, if you've got a good coach that knows how to do all that, it's just interesting to me that, Texas A&M just, they would have top 10 classes. And then this is like the second recruiting cycle since NIL started. And
right.
Jimbo, he's a good coach. He knows how to figure it out. And so, bam, they've got the number one class. So, and it wasn't their product on the field necessarily, was it? I mean,
well, I mean, A&M beat
so,
Bama last year. Maybe that's got something to do with it too. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they almost made the playoff and everything. So that's true. But with Texas, they, what's his name, Sarkisian or whatever, he hasn't been there very long. And, I don't know how they've been doing in recruiting. But with the NIL, man, I just think, if he's a good coach, he'll figure out how to, maybe get some of these players to and do what Texas A&M did. If he's a good coach and, he knows how to recruit well. I just think with NIL, it may not be the product on the field or something like that, but it's just like the recruiting may be affected the most. It may be before you get there and transfers and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's obviously got a major effect. We're seeing it right now, but yeah, I think Saban feels threatened. I think definitely that's what it is, and he's but again, I don't know why. Like, you are at Alabama, and I know he cares about the health of the sport and the direction of college football, but I don't know what he gains from picking this fight, man. I don't know what he gains from picking this fight. The fight with Jimbo, the fight with Deion, I don't know what he gains from it. Nothing. That's the answer. Nothing.
Well, I haven't seen what he said, but I think what he's trying to do, just from the surface, he's trying to say this may end up becoming a problem more than we thought, and we maybe need to look at, seeing, because I heard it. I don't want to see this become, players just go to a school because of NIL.
Let's Luke, let's take a step back because I think you need to know what he said. He said, okay, quote, Jackson State paid a guy $1 million last year that was a really good Division I player to come to school. It was in the paper. They bragged about it. Nobody did anything about it. He also said, let's see. Let me go back here. There's just so many tweets.
Saban was tweeting.
No, Saban was at a booster event last night just talking. So, quote, Saban said, quote, you read about it. You know who they are. We were second in recruiting last year. A&M was first. A&M bought every player on their team, made a deal for name, image, and likeness. We didn't buy one player. That's what Saban said last night. So he said that. He said about the Jackson State stuff. Jackson State paid $1 million, blah, blah, blah. More from Saban. He said, quote, these guys from Miami that are going to play basketball there for $400,000. That's in the newspaper. The guy tells you how he's doing it, but the NCAA can't enforce their rules because it's not against the law, and that's an issue. That's a problem. Again, I hear you with the direction college football is going and all that, but it's like, again, those in glass houses, man, are you really going to sit here and act like Bama ain't paid a single guy? Not a single? Come on, man. That's just bullshit. I mean, Bryce Young's on campus making like $8 million or however many million he made. Like, come on, dude. Y'all are benefiting too. Let's not pretend Bama's not benefiting from NIL. And so then Jimbo today, claps back. Jimbo claps back today, calling Saban a narcissist, which was very, very interesting. I'm trying to look for the exact quotes here.
It's all right.
Saban also said last night, the thing that I fear is that at some point in time, they're just going to say, we're going to have to pay players. If we start paying players, we're going to have to eliminate sports, Nick Saban said last night. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look at it. I think Saban's trying to make a point. He's trying to bring all this stuff up that it may become a problem. And recruiting. I don't know.
And then Deion, by the way, you should know this too, in case you didn't see this. Deion tweeted last night after seeing the Saban stuff, you best believe I will address that lie that Coach Saban told tomorrow. Again, this was last night he said this. I was and awakened by my son, Shedeur Sanders, that sent me the article stating that we paid Travis Hunter Jr. $1 million to play at Jackson State. We as a people don't have to pay our people to play with our people, which I thought it was kind of interesting. Deion was almost making it sound like it's a race thing. But either way, he clapped back also, and now we sit here with all this drama and all this back and forth between the guys. Jimbo said, quote, my dad always told me this, when people show you who they are, believe them. He's showing you who he is. He also says, you coach with people like Bobby Bowden and learn how to do things. You coach with other people and learn how to not do things. There's a reason I haven't gone back to work for him. So some very
wow.
Very very
crazy,
very interesting.
Well, I just I don't have a problem with NIL. I mean, I think it's great. Especially for a perfect example of Joyner has a good game and he gets to do all the promoting for like the bowl game and stuff like that. But I have heard on like the Debo Williams podcast or something or maybe it was something else where some of the players talk about like how where are these NIL? Once you get on campus, it doesn't seem like there may not. I don't know. I shouldn't say that, but if you have success, maybe you get more opportunities.
Right. So you're hold on. What did they say on Debo's podcast? Said like, where is all this NIL money everybody's making a big deal about?
Well, no, it's just like, you know, I haven't really seen it myself personally. Is what one person said. So,
Right.
you know, I don't
Well,
even remember what.
Well, and I would say this. I would say this because I think that's what's interesting too. Is like the NIL stuff that really bothers people, bro. It's affecting like 1% of players. You're not making $1 million if you're not really good. Like All-American NFL guy. So all due respect, bro, Debo Williams ain't seeing no NIL money. The man don't play. He didn't play last year at least. So the only guy on our roster that's seeing any significant NIL money, two guys are Rattler and Dak Joyner because what he did in the bowl game. Outside of that, we don't have anybody benefiting, really. You know what I mean? So –
well, Van. Well, no, because Van and Rattler. You know, Rattler got a car, and Van got. You know, he's with the Garnet Trust and 360 Clean. There's a couple of people doing that stuff, right?
I mean, they've gotten paid to go on Gamecock Central and do interviews. I mean, I don't think they're getting $1 million. I mean, that's what I'm just talking about the really, 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 really big stuff. Yeah, I mean, Hey, Garnet Trust has paid a lot of guys to interview. Trust me, I could give you numbers right now. I got Parker White on my show, who they also got. I can tell you exactly how much they gave him, and I think the number was absurd. To be totally honest with you, I mean, I'm not going to expose their financials on what they paid, but I can tell you this: I paid about 1/10 of what they paid to get him on because I thought it was absurd. I think it's absurd. Again, I don't question the kids, bro.
Yeah.
When it comes to NIL, I don't. Hey, Pittsburgh wide receiver. Man, you'd be damn near dumb not to take $3 million to go to Southern Cal or Texas or Bama. You'd be crazy. You'd just be crazy. If somebody's going to give it to you, what are you supposed to do? Stand on some moral high ground of, well, I just think it's wrong. No. I think the business owners are insane. I think the people giving the money are nuts. They're nuts, dude. They're freaking nuts. But it's their money, so I mean, do whatever you want.
Well, so it sounds like it's all to get them on campus now. That's become the big thing that Saban's talking about. It's to get them on campus, and you have to produce or, you know, to get more, you know, more deals and stuff. But it sounds like it's the recruiting to come on campus is where the biggest, you know, things that are being alleged,
right,
or whatever.
Which is, again, is it more prevalent now because there's no rules? Yes. But, bro, that's been happening forever. I mean, we paid Clowney. I mean, shocker. Newsflash. We paid Clowney. Clowney was a very highly sought-after guy, obviously. So it's just making people uncomfortable because it's so in your face. You can't ignore it. I'm not saying, again, that NIL doesn't need to be adjusted. It does. You can't. Only the NCAA would think it was a good idea to roll something out to this magnitude and roll out also like transfer portal and NIL together and be like, well, we have no rules. Just do whatever you want. Like, that doesn't seem like a smart basis for operation. But here we are. So, and it's the NCAA. You know, nothing surprises me really. So, I'm not saying, I mean, but I would just go back again. What did A&M do that was illegal? I don't care if they paid every recruit they got.
Nothing.
I mean, they didn't really, technically, until there's rules in place, I guess they didn't really do anything illegal. And you can hate that or love that, but I mean, that's, you know, I mean, it just is what it is, I guess. I mean,
you know, they do have a good coach and they do, you know, they were winning. You know, they had good work. So it's not just to say that any program can just figure out how to pay all the players and then they'll still want to you know, come there. Like,
yeah, for sure,
get a class that high.
For sure. And dude, I said this too last year when all this was happening and people were saying, well, it's going to ruin recruiting. And I mean, it definitely has a big effect on recruiting. We're seeing it right now. But I would just say this too. I mean, if you're a prospect and a recruit and you're only choosing a school because of NIL, you're really messing up, I think, man. Because you know what? Like you said, it'll get you on campus. That's all fine and dandy, whatever. But like, you better still factor in the coach, the culture, the system, playing time. Like, those things should still be at the top of the list because if you go on campus and you don't play, ain't nobody paying the third team tight end. Nobody's paying the backup anything. Yeah. Like, if you're not playing and contributing and scoring touchdowns or making big plays or whatever it is, like that, and that NIL stuff, it's going to follow production. You know, I mean, again, I see where it's happening in recruiting, but I just think if you're sold, if you're a prospect, you're like, well, I'm just going to go to the highest bidder. That's a recipe for disaster. But you know, I mean, I guess some guys don't care. They'll just sit the bench and be happy with it. But you know, I think you better stay where you can play.
Yeah. I mean, it's still about football. You know, you love football, and the goal is to get to the league. So,
right.
You know, you want to have a good career. You want to, you know, it's your football career. So, you want to have fun. You want to, you know, win. You want to, you know, and all those things. So, I mean, yeah.
I think, you know what I think, man? I think really, if everybody was really honest, and nobody will come out and say this because it's the unpopular opinion and how it sounds. I think seeing the reaction, I'm not trying to put a blanket statement on everyone, but just seeing the reaction from people, I think people can sit here and say they're happy with NIL and they like NIL. I don't think people do. I don't think people like college kids getting paid. I don't think they like prospects getting paid. I think it bothers people. I think it makes people uncomfortable because, again, before NIL existed, people could live in their little fantasy worlds that we're squeaky clean and we're doing it right. And, oh, Jimmy John over here wants to be a Gamecock because he loves USC and he loves our school. And I'm just saying South Carolina because we're Gamecocks. But that's every fan of every school. Well, it's just this, that, whatever. But now it's so in your face, it makes you uncomfortable. I think most college fans, from what I take away from it, if they could go back and eliminate NIL and erase it, they would. I don't doubt the people in the NCAA don't feel that way too. It's like, you know what? Maybe it was behind closed doors before, but at least it didn't cause such an uproar as what it's doing now. Because now they don't have any control. They have none. Until they put it, I don't know how you go backwards. You can't go backwards. I don't know what kind of rules you can even put in place. I mean, I don't think tampering should happen. Don't get me wrong. I don't think, you know, schools, you know, I don't think schools should be like calling up Jaheim Bell, for example, and being like, hey, like, we'll give you X amount of dollars to come here, like transfer, whatever, you know, but I don't think that should happen. But I don't think in reality, I don't think college fans I don't think college football fans like these kids getting paid. I don't. Because here's why I say that. Because Dak Joyner gets a shout out from Dukes Mayo. Oh, that's fine. That's like, if you're going to do NIL and you like kids getting paid, you got to let it all go. You can't say, well, I like this, but I don't like that. Well, you don't get to determine that. They're all getting paid in whatever way they want to get paid. Dak gets some money from Dukes Mayo, and guess what? Spencer Rattler gets a truck. And that's completely fine. You know? So you either want it all or you don't want any of it. I think that's the way it is. That's how I view it. You either are okay with guys getting paid to whatever extent. I say this. On one hand, there certainly needs to be restrictions. On the other, bro, let these schools spend dumb money. Let them look stupid. Let Southern Cal spend $3 million on a receiver that ain't going to help them even win one more game than they're going to win. I mean, really, like you said, it's still about football. You still got to go play. Southern Cal ain't going to win the national title because they signed one receiver. Like, let them waste their money. Let them be stupid. Go ahead. I mean, that's why I said before, like, if I was Pittsburgh, it'll suck in the short term. I'd tell the kid to walk. Bro. Hey, you want to go walk. Yeah. We don't need you. I don't want your attitude on my roster. Fine. Go take the money. That's fine.
Well, you know, when this first all came out, Spurrier was the first one of the first coaches to say, you know, there needs to be like a payment. Like a payment,
a stipend,
from the school to
stipend.
Yeah, like, you know, $500 for, you know, a month, or I don't know what they were talking about, but just like some money, a little bit for spending money and stuff that from the school, how much the school makes, you know, they should be compensated like that. Just, you know, if you're on the roster or whatever. But then the problem was with all the other sports, how do they, you know, only do it for football or whatever, you know? but what's the hold up on the video game? Is that not going to come out anymore? I mean, what?
Yeah, I
The
think
excuse
next
was
year.
that, you know,
I think next year. I thought they said 2023. I mean, they got to make the game, of course, but I think next year. I think next year is what I've heard. But we'll see. I mean, I'm certainly.
well, they need to.
I'm just like you, my guy. I'm waiting on it, edge of my seat, waiting on it. So they could charge
Well,
$200 for that game and people will buy it, man. You know.
Yes. And they about the players or something. If you're like a star player or something, maybe they could, benefits. I mean, there's so many things you could do with that. How much that video game produces.
Yeah, and
Everybody
I'm
who
sure.
loves
I'm sure that's a
football
lot
and
of
college sports
reason.
will play it.
I'm sure that's a lot of reason why they haven't dropped it yet. Because I'm sure there's a lot behind the scenes of. I mean, they got to reach out to every school and every player and set up pay. I mean, that's a lot to that's a lot to figure out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but
Well,
it's supposed to be coming soon.
baseball and basketball also.
I'd love that, bro. I'd love
Hopefully
that.
they
Trust
do
me.
baseball and basketball too.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah. All right, man.
Luke,
Maybe
great.
the longest call on the Spurs.
No, dude, I appreciate it. Honestly, I love the beauties in the banter, man. As I always say, I love it. I appreciate your insight and perspective. Calling anytime, my friend.
All right, later, man.
All right, brother. Take care. Great stuff from Luke RJ. Honestly, that was a riveting call, and I truly appreciate it. Guys, we're going to jump into one final break, but I want to continue to hear from you, more of your questions, comments, calls, and more on the other side. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. Oh. Okay, Brad Lawing going to jump on. Very good. Guys, what's going on? Appreciate you all tuning in. We got about less than 10 minutes to go here on this Thursday, May the 19th, 2022. Sorry, I was just reading on Twitter. Sports Talk is having Brad Lawing on their show on their airwaves tonight at 6:35. I will actually be talking to Brad Lawing as well this weekend. We're going to have Coach Lawing back on the show. Very excited. That might actually be our first ever SEC Unfiltered interview. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. Tyler Ballou says USC players been drinking in 5 points for free for years. Even walk-on. Small perk, but would have added up for me. I mean, yeah, I feel like that's something that, you know, the college athletes, that's something they should get. I mean, why not, man? Makes sense. Makes sense. Anyways, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls. Travis Lee says, I guess Muschamp didn't fall on the right side of that Saban tree. He couldn't win or buy players. Yeah. That's Muschamp for you. Anyways, guys, series for the Gamecocks does get going tonight in Gainesville, Carolina, taking on Florida. I have got the Gators taking 2 of 3 in the series. The final SEC weekend, the final SEC regular season weekend, SEC tournament beginning next week on Tuesday. So going to be a very, very busy week. Chase says, do you think we win against Florida or no? And what about the SEC tournament again? Chase, I've got the Gators taking 2 of 3. Really just going to depend on who the matchup is in game 1 of the SEC tournament. As far as do we have a chance? What are our chances look like? I mean, I'm not expecting some crazy run. And the only chance the Gamecocks have at postseason play is going on an insane run in Hoover. And I just we've never done it, you know, or we have, don't get me wrong, we have, but it's been a very long time since we had any sort of success in Hoover. So that being said, I don't have crazy hopes for Hoover or anything. I was looking D1 baseball, their last 4 in, they've actually got Clemson as one of their last 4 in, which is very interesting. Let's jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Dave Garrett.
My guy. Dave, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing fine. I love that idea, man. I think that would be awesome to have Lawing for the first unfiltered segment. The other thing I wanted to tell you real quick, I know you're pushing up toward the end of the hour. Great interview with Elliott. It's hard not to like Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, he must be destroyed September 3rd, and then after the game, we pick him up and hug him and love him again. Hope you have a great weekend, man. Talk to you later.
Appreciate it, Dave. Thanks so much for the call. Really, really good stuff from Dave as always. Yeah, so again, for those who maybe missed it, I talked about this last night at Tin Roof. I'm actually going out to Brad Lawing's house on Saturday morning. We are chatting. So I wasn't exactly sure what the context was going to be. I wasn't exactly sure what the topic of conversation was going to be. Just random Gamecock football talk. But, now with this Saban and Fisher stuff upcoming, and I'd love to hear his thoughts on everything. I certainly would, because he's coached for both. Appreciate your love and support, Dave. Sincerely, man. Really, really do. As far as Coach Elliott's awesome. Coach Elliott's awesome, man. He's an incredible dude. Had a great time chatting with him, and I do agree with you. We it's all love until we get between them white lines on September the 3rd, and we need to take it to them. So and they'll come ready to play. Listen, they'll come ready to play, and obviously Vegas thinks so. Gamecocks are just an 11 point favorite against Georgia State. In case you missed that, crazy. I mean, listen, I give Georgia State all the credit in the world, but 11 points. 11 points. That's tough. 11 points is surprising to say the least. 11 points is surprising to say the least. Let's see. Anyways, guys, appreciate you all. Again, stay tuned for tomorrow's podcast. Podcast will drop tomorrow, episode 651. I told you all with the series starting tonight, going to be a little bit of a different Friday show. Tomorrow's podcast, I'm going to give you guys my top 5 candidates to take over as Gamecocks head coach. I know there's not a vacancy right now, but you know what? I think that I think it's time to do so. I think it's time to discuss that. I think it's time to start looking ahead and just give you guys an idea of where I sit in regards to who I'm looking at, who I'd be interested in taking over. So I will do that on the podcast. Tomorrow, of course, Daily Crow tomorrow as well. Going to be a little bit more maybe of a casual Friday. We might do the same setup. I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know. Pool content maybe coming soon, dude. It's so hot in the city. You got to be able to cool off somehow. So, yeah. Chase, what would Kingston have to do to not get fired this year? Well, I mean, listen, I don't know. I don't know that we are going to pull the trigger. Maybe we will. Maybe we will, but I can't say for certain, right, that 110% because I'm not on the board of trustees. I'm not Ray Tanner. I'm not the one behind closed doors making those decisions. I think he should be let go. But I mean, dude, you missed the postseason. To me, that should be enough. Not your average sports kid. Yes, Road to Glory. I don't know exactly when we'll run it, but that's going to come back. Not your average sports kid. I'm not exactly sure when, though. We've got a lot of stuff going on right now. I want to run that soon. Definitely at the latest sometime over the weekend. I've got time this weekend to do it. So maybe over the weekend we'll get back on the Road to Glory grind, if you will. Because I'm trying to win the Heisman, straight up. I'm trying to win the Heisman. So let's see. Yeah, the Jimbo Saban feud, man. The Jimbo Saban feud has just taken everything by storm. Everything by storm. So love it. Love it. It's great for banter. It's great for content. Great for yours truly, man. Great for yours truly for sure. Guys, again, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Appreciate you all tuning in. If you want a full breakdown and preview of the Florida series, you can listen to yesterday's podcast. I've also dropped my prediction already on social media. 2 of 3. I've got the Gators taking the series in Gainesville. Carolina just been terrible on the road. You're extremely thin when it comes to your pitching staff. You know, and Florida's had an up and down year, but I think at home, again, how can you pick the Gamecocks to go on the road and win? And I think we'll take a game. Again, I think it'll be a very close competitive series. These games against Florida typically are. But, you know, I think it's just going to be another tough, brutal road weekend for Counter Baseball. Guys, that's going to do it all for me. Appreciate you all tuning in. Have a fantastic rest of your Thursday. Go Cox, beat Florida, and we'll talk to you all tomorrow.